So today we're in the kitchen and we're going to make banana bread plus. So it's banana bread with cinnamon swirl in it. And we made one earlier and I forgot to record it, so we're going to do it again and record it for you. Stay tuned, please. So we're going to start with our wet ingredients. Doesn't really matter which you do first, the wet or the dry, doesn't matter. But we're going to start with 1 cup of mashed bananas, as pureed as you can get them. I didn't try too hard with the masher. We're going to add 2 eggs, a 1/2 cup of maple syrup, homemade I might add, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and a 1/4 cup of milk. You can use almond milk, low fat, non-fat, coconut milk, whatever you want to use, it doesn't matter. And a 1/4 cup of yogurt, which I don't have out, and my handy dandy assistant is going to get for me. So we're going to add the 2 eggs in, and we'll just start mixing these in. Get those incorporated real well. Go ahead and add our maple syrup. Look at that. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention was vanilla, and we're using homemade vanilla here. So I'm going to add my butter in, melted, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, sorry. A 1/4 cup of yogurt. You can use Greek, plain, regular plain yogurt, it's fine. Greek works just as well. A 1/4 cup of milk. And to this I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of homemade vanilla. Now if you watched my other video, I showed you how to make this vanilla, and this is the one,
link right there.
This is the vanilla that I made with the Madagascar beans and Captain Morgan spiced rum, and oh, it smells wonderful. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of this. Personally, I would use 2 tablespoons, but that might be a bit much. Okay. Just mix that up. Then we'll get ready for our dry ingredients over here. And set this aside. For our dry ingredients, we have 1.5 cups of flour. Now you can use white flour as we have here. You can use white whole wheat flour. You can use coconut flour, almond flour, just about anything you want. You can experiment, and it's pretty forgiving. So we actually made one, like I mentioned earlier, with einkorn flour, and it came out really nice. Well, this is the one that we made with the einkorn flour, and I think it looks pretty darn good, and was pretty tasty too. I guess my taste tester liked it as well. So to this 1.5 cups of flour, we're going to use a 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, homemade brown sugar. Yeah, we made this a couple weeks ago. And I need a teaspoon, a dried teaspoon, please, of baking soda. Doesn't have to be exact, just kind of eyeball it there. Get that mixed in. And I need an 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I've got an extra set of hands behind me here. Now this is pure sea salt, fine grain. I'm not a huge fan of salt, so it says 1/8 of a teaspoon. I use about half of that, so a 1/16 of a teaspoon. Let's get all these whisked in. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our dry ingredients and slowly incorporate it into our wet. Get these bowls out of here so I've got room. All right. So once we get this all mixed, now while doing this, I failed to mention that we are preheating our oven to 350 degrees. And we have sprayed our bread pan, so it's ready to go. Ready for it. Go ahead and put that in there. So I'm going to put half of this batter in the pan. Pardon my arms there. And for our cinnamon swirl, you will melt 2 tablespoons of butter, add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar packed, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then we pour about half of it in the pan, drizzle it over like so. And we'll set that aside. Then we'll take a knife and just kind of mix it. You know, a little design here, a little design there, nothing major. Now, as you're doing this, you could add nuts, you could add chocolate chips, you could add coconut flakes. You could add just about anything you wanted. Then you're going to put the rest of your batter right on top. Sorry, the camera is on my left and I'm a right-handed person. So you're getting a lot of arm shot, I'm sure. Okay. Just set that aside. Smooth out the top. And then we're going to put the rest of the cinnamon mixture right on top here. And I may not use all of it. That's quite a bit. But feel free to use whatever you want to your taste. And I'm going to make a mess here too. So again, we just kind of swirl it through so it's not all gloppy in one place like I had it. I don't know if gloppy is a word either. I learned from my sister, we make up our own words as we go sometimes, so. Thanks, Melody. And that is pretty much it. We're going to put this in the oven for 25 minutes. At that point, I'll bring you back and show you the rest of what happens. Okay, so as you can see, we've got...
You can't.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I guess you can't. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beep. Okay. Turn that off. We're going to pull our bread out. Oh, looks so yummy. As you can see, it's still a little jiggly, so we know it's not done. However, we're going to take it out and set it up here because we need to put a tint over it. I'm just going to take some aluminum foil and tint it. Then we're going to put it back in the oven for another 25 minutes. And get my boxing gloves on here. And we'll bring you back in 25 minutes. Stay tuned. Okay, so 25 minutes is up. We're gonna take the bread out. And set it over here on the cooling rack. Take the foil off. Ooh, look at that. And so you take the foil off and away from you so that the steam doesn't come up in your face. So that is nice. I ran out of toothpicks, so I'm going to use a temperature probe just to make sure that it's done, and it came out nice and clean. So that loaf is done. So I'm going to leave it sit for about 10 minutes to cool. I'll flip it out onto the rack to cool for probably about another 20-30 minutes, and we'll bring you back when we slice it up. Stay tuned. Oop, I didn't touch it.
No, I turned it off.
Oh.
Yes, we're live. Go ahead.
Okay, so the bread has been out of the oven and is nicely cooled. So this one here is the one we made earlier today from the einkorn. I'm going to cut into that and see what it looks like. This one had more banana in it. I put a little too much banana. I didn't bother measuring, which, my bad. And then this one is the one we just took out of the oven. And this is the one that was made with just regular white flour. Let's cut this one up and see how it looks. And this was made with the correct amount of bananas, not extra. Well, it looks pretty good. You want to taste it and tell me what you think?
You know it.
All right. There you go.
Look what I get.
Like I said, you could put nuts in here or chocolate chips, whatever you want. You could doctor it up however you'd want.
That's good.
No, not bad. And I don't really taste any difference between the einkorn and this one. So, all right, well.
There you have it.
There you have it. So, if you haven't already done so, we'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and the little bell notification, and you'll be notified anytime we upload another video.
And subscribe.
I said that.
Hands.
All right, until next time, folks, God bless.
What are we making? What are we doing? Who are you? What day is this? Who cares?
Oh, it's warm in here.